Hello and welcome to episode 74 of Midweek News. Let's get started. Linux Firmware Update Tool, Fwupd 1.9.17 adds support for more Asus and Realtek devices. Yes, it's true. You can update the firmware for many devices from within Linux, and every update adds to the list of supported devices. This version adds support for Asus DC202 dual 4K USB-C dock and Realtek Gen 1 RTS 41X hub controllers. Other behind-the-scenes updates and changes have also been implemented. Installing fonts on Linux. This is a short tutorial on installing fonts on Linux. It's important for people to understand this process because different fonts are a primary reason documents exchanged between platforms don't look the same. Simply installing the same fonts, often the Microsoft Core fonts, will go a long way to making your documents easier to exchange between platforms. Tails 6.2 is out, improving mitigation of Spectre version 4 vulnerability. This version syncs against the Debian 12 repositories and is powered by kernel 6.1. The highlight of this new version is disabling Speculative Store Bypass (SSB) to improve Spectre v4 vulnerability affecting Intel processors. There have also been 21 languages added into the welcome screen. Older iperf3 versions are not accurate on Windows. The version of iperf3 built specifically for Windows is nearly 8 years old. Newer versions use the Cygwin emulation layer instead of making native Windows API calls. Microsoft has a tool called NTTCP, which has both a Windows and Linux version. The article does have results of tests performed on both Ubuntu and Windows, comparing the tools. They might surprise you. TrueNAS Scale 24.04 is now available. With the previous version of Scale, 40% of TrueNAS users made the migration off Core and to Scale. Some new features include Samba 4.19.3, SMB client auditing, simpler SMB and NFS share creation with a wizard, free IPA support as an alternative to Active Directory, the latest OpenZFS, new NVIDIA driver, improved log management UI, improved backup and setup of cloud sync tasks, and more. Available now from TrueNAS.com. TSMC 1.6 nanometer process chips coming in 2026. TSMC has disclosed details of their A16 technology, which could deliver 1.6 nanometer fab chips by 2026. It is claimed the new silicon process will provide an 8 to 10% speed improvement over its N2P process. It will surely be interesting to watch this unfold. Microsoft open sources MS-DOS 4.0. While I'm sure this will be interesting, especially for those who might be able to iterate on it for some projects, the first version of MS-DOS I was exposed to was 5.0. Perhaps there are some old machines out there which only had software that worked on the 4.0 version. 45 Drives adds to its compute lineup. While 45 Drives is best known for dense multi-drive storage systems, it's adding some new product lines. The Home Client is a passion project that was born out of the desire to build a better home theater PC. The Home Client will be sold under both the Home and Enterprise brands. There is also a workstation coming which features a mini ITX motherboard and 12th gen Intel processors and will come packed with between 16 and 64 gigs of RAM. The workstation is also able to be equipped with up to an RTX 4060. 45 Drives will offer several OS options, but let's face it, they are a Linux first shop. RISC OS version 5.30 is now available. Prior to the Raspberry Pi, RISC OS was something of a novelty here in the US, as there was no hardware available to run on it. If you've got a Pi 3 or newer, you might want to take a look at this, as it does deviate from what most of us would think of as a desktop OS, but hey, it comes from the 80s and is still interesting to take a look at. Shotcut 24.04 video editor has been released. This release comes 2 months after 24.02 and introduces or enhances quite a list of features. Here are a few. It introduces ambisonic encoder audio filter, apply copied filters in new areas, new time format setting, undo, redo support for adding, removing, and changing keyframes. Several bugs have also been squashed. If you want to dig more into the technical details, head over to the Shotcut website. Shotcut is available for Linux, Mac OS as a universal binary, and Windows. Systemd version 2.5.6 introduces a safer alternative to sudo called run0. Love it or hate it, Systemd appears to be the future for controlling services on most Linux distributions. Run0 operates by requesting the service manager to execute commands under the target user's user ID, creating a pseudo terminal and transferring data between the originating terminal and the pseudo terminal. Run0 utilizes PaulKit for authorization. Systemd version 2.5.6 is about 88% complete at this time, and upon release is sure to spark debate amongst the Linux community. And that will bring us to the end of Midweek News, episode 74. I am not currently anticipating there being a live stream tonight, but I will not completely rule it out. Thank you for watching and have a great day.